to your work at the City of Ithaca. Tell us about your role, please, and then specifically net zero. How are you going to get there?
Well, yeah, my role, I became the sustainability director for the City of Ithaca in New York in April last year, 2021. The city had committed 2 years earlier, before COVID, committed to achieve carbon neutrality by 2030. And the city passed a resolution, which is, as close as it gets to a serious formal commitment to achieve these goals. But there wasn't much behind it. And, there were well-intended people behind this effort that did lobbying with the city council and with the mayor and eventually convinced them to do this, but there was no plan. So my role initially was to figure out what we mean by carbon neutral by 2030. What does that mean in practical terms? What does it mean in cost? What does it mean in terms of advancing society in a particular way or advancing in our fight against climate change? So then the technical work began, and the first few months I was focused entirely on translating that into actionable elements. So I did that, and I explained back to City Council, we need to identify emissions, we need to identify the source of those emissions, we need to figure out a way of mitigating them, but we need to find a way mostly of transforming the economy. And the way I presented it to them was, and that's the way I see my job. It is a mission-oriented, collaborative approach to carbon neutrality, where at the very core of everything that we're doing, it truly is, a focus on social capital. It's a focus on elevating social capital, because that's the only way that could lead to a new socioeconomic model where you have justice, equity, and sustainable prosperity at the very core of the transformation. It may seem a mouthful, it may seem complex for some people, but at the end of the day, mission-oriented means we're trying to do something that has not been done before, but just like we had never landed on the moon, or just like we thought we couldn't develop a vaccine in 6 months, there is enough evidence that, by transforming the way we think, operate, and collaborate, we might be able to achieve these goals. Definitely a collaborative approach, because it is not for me or for government to do this, it's for everybody to be part of this. And that informs a lot of what I have to do when I joined the city. It is, I need to make sure that the community is part of this, and we need to move away from the usual public consultation model. You need to go for democratic engagement of a whole community. And you need to start by identifying those that are never part of the process, so you can turn that upside down and make them the heart of the process.